on in the stream today. But I have an idea that I want to build, and my Roomba is running. So if it's too loud in the background, I will stop the Roomba and deal with the dog hair everywhere and run it later. So please let me know if that is too loud and annoying. But the project I want to work on today it started out as a bus tracking app. So I was at a conference over the weekend out in Colorado, and we took buses from the airport to the summer camp where the venue was. And we, myself and this other hacker named Max, built this awesome bus tracker. Basically, it's two web pages that use Socket.io and geolocation. So you open up bustracker.com/I'm on a bus, and it just starts sending your geolocation through WebSockets to the server. And then there's another view that's I want to see all the buses, and it was a Google Maps view that put all of the tracked buses on markers on the map and updated them in real time. And it came out really sweet. It was a real quick, dirty hack. Actually, I think the code is on GitHub somewhere. Let's see. Max. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, not that one. There we go. Bus tracker. So this came out real quick and dirty. GitHubs, yes. And it was a fun project. It's real straightforward. You can pop in here and probably understand everything that's going on. Make this a little bigger. So it just used Socket.io, and we just had some dirty, quick for loops. Again, we threw this together in like an hour while waiting at the airport and on a bus. So it's just like running through, checking all the buses, sending out messages, removing them from the array. Your intern said he was watching you build this at the airport. Oh shit, that's awesome. Shahan, thank you very much for the follow. How's it going? Who's your intern, Adrian? I definitely would have met them. Oh, that's awesome. Well, this came out really quick and fun. So what I want to do is I want to take this idea and I want to expand on it. And I want to buddy up with Max at some point so we can work on this together. But I want to... so we have all these different things out there, right? There used to be like Google Latitude, which was a service that I used quite a bit. I think it's pretty discontinued now. But it lets you like track your friends' locations. Right? It was before like Find My Friends for Apple. And then there was Facebook has something, I think, to track your friends. But all these things require like an account and a service, and like they're either always tracking or never tracking. So what I want to do is I want to build a web app that lets you spin up these like one-time tracking instances. So maybe you're going on a trip with friends, you're all driving from different locations. This will be like someone goes and like creates a session, and then it will generate you two URLs, one to track and one to view all the people on the map. So that's the idea. Let's just dive in and write some code on this. Let me know if you have any questions or ideas. That'd be even better. Happy to chat about all the cool things. So I'm gonna pop over to my favorite text editor, and let's make a new folder. What should we call this? So track all the things for now. And I will start a new node project. And again, my Roomba is running, so if that is too loud, please let me know and I can turn it off for now. Okay. So we're definitely going to need a few things. Express, the most obvious. If you've ever seen me write code before, you know I love Express. We're going to need Socket.io, which is a WebSocket library. So Express is a web framework. Socket.io is a WebSocket library. It lets us stream data from the client. And I just realized I didn't tweet this. I should tweet that I'm live. That is a cute cat. live on Twitch. With building, let's see, what are we live with? All right. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Vincent. I definitely know Vincent. Very cool. Ah, that's awesome. Sick tweet. Thanks for the tweet the tweet props, bro. Cool. So let's dive into the code. Okay. So we need express socket.io. We'll probably need body parser at some point. I think that's good for now. So I'm gonna save those. And we'll start off with like a real simple skeleton of this, and we'll move from there. So I'm basically going to recreate what Max and I built on the bus, and then we'll expand on it from there. So what should we do? We should start up tmux. And we should create our index.js file. Alright. So I'm going to, first thing, let's turn on strict mode. And then we'll pull an express. Simux8, thank you very much for the follow. Very cool. Let's see. Yes, MKCD is my own alias. Let's see if I can echo it out. There you go. So it just sets dir, grabs the input, make dir, and cd. So it's super straightforward. It's really nice. It definitely makes things really quick. So we're gonna need HTTP in here as well. And I'll actually paste that for you if you'd like. Boom. Really straightforward. What's going up, Dave? How we doing? Stealing that yes, my dot files are on GitHubs. It should just be right in my, let's see. I'm getting very, oh my god! The world is going to end. GitHub is, no! Alright, we're back. It should be right in here. Let's see. It's in one of these things in here. Probably a plugin file somewhere. Probably this one. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Alright. Very cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Dave. This is awesome. Oh, we got a cool crew in here. Okay, so back to codes. Akumar, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Thank you very much for the follow. What kind of, if you're a software developer and you just joined us, what kind of software and code you like to write? Drop it into the chat. So we have Express, we have Socket.io, we're going to need body parser. So this will parse out HTTP bodies for us. If you have questions about this, just please let me know and we can go over everything. Gonna grab Socket.io. Alright, so now we need an instance of Express. And then we need a actual server instance. With, we're gonna create a server and hand it our app as a middleware type router function. And then we need to create Socket.io. We can tell it to bind to our server. And then down here we can tell our server to listen on port 3000. And if there's an error, otherwise, server started on port 3000. Okay, perfect. And just for a sane hello world, let's do this. Perfect. Alright, there's our hello world. Super straightforward. So let's start it up. Server started. Localhost. There's our hello. Alright. It's always good when shit runs correctly the first time. Can we just spend the whole stream going through your dot files? Maybe one day. People have definitely asked about how we do all that cool stuff, so we might have to. Maybe we could pair on that one, Sam. That might be a fun joint stream. So if anyone doesn't know, Sam Agnew Shreds in Chat, is also a developer evangelist at Twilio, and we work together in New York. So he does a lot of Python and some JavaScript. So very cool. You work on anything new, Dave, or same old project? And the rumor just finished. Yay! Okay. Okay, so let's get a few things going. So we're gonna need a public folder, and that's what we'll serve some HTML out of. Let's see. What do we need? We need to edit public index HTML. And let's see. This will. I won't do much for now. Let's actually edit another file. Let's say public tracker.html. And it will have a basic HTML5 body. And what do we need in here? Well, we should have a script tag. And what should the script tag be? So this will pull in JS tracker.js, which means we also need to make the JS directory, and then we can edit public JS tracker.js. Perfect. All right. And so I'm just going to turn that music down a tad. Okay, what do we need to do? So much code so quickly. Yeah, Emmet is really awesome. So that's called Emmet. It's a plugin for just about every text editor. It's really sweet. Still working on the project I talked to you about before. Very cool. Okay, so this is we'll just call this tracker. And so the first thing, what's the document ready event? Where do I find this one? I always look on like, you might not need jQuery. Ooh, go back. Ready. DOM content loaded? Is that the right event? So basically, this is an event that gets fired when the browser is fully ready. And it was standardized in HTML5. So, okay, every browser supports it. Perfect. And if you're not on a modern browser, you better upgrade. Okay, so we'll say document.add event listener for DOM content loaded. And does that give me an event? No, it just takes in a function. Okay. So what do we need to do? Well, the first thing we should do is connect to socket.io. So const socket equals io connect to root. Jade, how we doing? Thanks for hanging out with us. We're building a hack right now that we built on the bus going to HackCon. Very cool. Which plugin do I use for autocomplete in Vim? That is uCompleteMe with the turn bindings. So you install uCompleteMe through your Vim package manager somehow, and then you do this install.py turn completer flag. So it's right in the README. And it's really awesome. I like it. What's HackCon? HackCon was a meta conference for hackathon organizers, hosted by Major League Hacking, and it was a great time. So we have this connected. Okay, now we need geolocation stuff. So I think it's like navigator. Let's see. Navigator.geolocation.getCurrentPosition. Get current position. Aiden, thanks for hanging out with us. Very cool. We have 2 Aidens in here. Rutgers Aiden and SparkPost Aiden. Okay, so success function. What does this give us? Success error. Position. Okay. Let's try that again. Aiden, thank you for the follow. Very cool. Adrian. Oh, I'm so out of it, man. I'm so sorry. I know your name. It's been a long couple days. So that's a good time to make an announcement. I am going on vacation for most of July. So I put a note in the bottom of the thing, but I'm going to be in Japan for like 2 weeks straight, and it's going to be amazing. And I need a long rest. So apologies, Adrian. I'm so sorry. So okay, let's check this real quick. So we've got a position, and what do we do with position? Well, we want to, let's set window.pose equals pose. So we should, pose is not defined yet. Why not? There we go. Pose dot chords. Oh, 2 O's. And then dot latitude. Perfect. And then longitude. Alright. So that's how we get it. Okay. So let's do that. Let's put it here for now. I have a feeling we're going to need to wrap it somewhere because we'll need to call it a few times. So navigator.geolocation.getCurrentPosition. Is that spelled right? Get current position, I think so. Perfect. And this will give us the position. And this will also take an error. Which we could just log out. And what was the third one? It said it took 3 arguments. Options. Ooh. Position options. I wonder what you can configure in here. Enable high accuracy. I probably want that one. Yeah, I didn't even know that was there. Okay, let's toss that in there. So let's say const position options equals true. What else we got? So this will give us a higher degree of accuracy. Probably take more power, but we'll try it out for now. Make geolocation work better. Timeout. We don't need timeout. Is a positive long value in a millisecond. Cannot use a cache. Okay, we don't want a cache position. We want this to update in real time. So let's set to 0. And I think that'll work. I should be able to just pass that in. Yeah. Perfect. Devin Raider, thank you very much for the follow. Devin, what kind of software development do you like to do? Let us know in the chat. Okay. So let's see. We have our position options that we'll toss in there now. And let's log out our position.chords. Let's, oop, I closed the window. Position.chords. And we should also add a script tag for our, I think it's socket.io client.js. Let's see, we'll find out in a second. You have a family member living in Japan. Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's been on my list for a while. Last year I went to Stockholm, Sweden. That was my girlfriend's choice. So now we're going to Japan. We're gonna have a good time there. So, is this going to be recorded? Yes. So this should be exported to YouTube at some point after the stream is done. So it should be always recorded, and I usually upload all the code to GitHub, and we will post it. So exactly what Sam said. Okay. So I wanted to check if it serves socket. Not there. Socket.io client. Nope. Let's see. It's on the website somewhere. Okay. Ducks. Oh, okay. That's what it is. Socket.io/socket.io.js. Works for me. Perfect. Okay, so there's our JavaScript that we need to include. So this is the client-side Socket.io library. So if you haven't used Socket.io before, it's basically a wrapper around WebSockets, which are really cool ways that we can do bidirectional communication with the web server. And we'll play with that in a bit. But let's get the location tracking working first. So if I go to our server, so I'm going to add an express middleware, which is basically just a function that will get called on every request that comes in. And let's see. And this will do socket.io static, and then we give it the directory where we want to serve files out of. So I'm just going to pull in the path module, which will let us join paths easier, like file paths. So we'll add directory name and then public, and it should serve everything out of there. So if we start this up and then we go to tracker.html, it should load up and we should see our coordinates printed out. There they are. Perfect. I wonder what this accuracy 45 means. Let's see. Accuracy returns a double representing. So is that a percentage or a confidence level? All right. Well, we'll take it for what it is. Cool. So that's working. Perfect. And then, so now let's do a hello world of the Socket.io, which is really straightforward. So we have our socket that's connected to from the client. So the client reaches out to the server and it opens up this connection. And then we can do socket and we can emit a ping. And then on the server, we can do, let's see, io.on connection. And this will give us a socket. And we can say socket.on ping. It should emit back a pong. And we should print out got ping. Cool. So if you notice, I'm using an underscore here. I learned the hard way that ping and pong are reserved events in Socket.io, and they will fail silently. So yeah, make sure you don't use ping and pong without an underscore there. That was a very hard bug to figure out. So here we'll say on pong console.log got pong. Okay. So these are just events which we work with in JavaScript a lot. And emitting an event is really just like dispatching an event. So it's saying like, hey, like this thing happened. So the server is listening for that ping event, and then it responds by printing this out and emitting pong. And then here we listen for pong and print out got pong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there, Adrian. It was a very tough stream. I had no idea what was going on. We could bingo bongo. Bingo bongo. Got pong, right? So that worked. Those are great events to use. We really need to make bingo bongo an actual thing. I might start doing that as well, instead of foobar and ping pong. Alright, so boom, our Socket.io connection works. And it's just that easy. It's just events, and as JavaScript developers, we love events. Eddie works well under pressure. I don't think so. On the inside, I'm like screaming, so it's good that it comes off that way. Thank you very much. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is start sending geolocations through an event on the client. So I think the client should open up so once the socket is connected, the socket should really just start streaming data. So it should be, this should be on an interval, right? So, and we can play with the right interval later. But we'll set an interval for now. And it should be, let's say every 2 seconds for now. So every 2 seconds we want to get the current position. And if you think of a better way to do this, let me know. Ooh, damn it. I keep closing the window. So if you think of a better way to do this, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to console log a tick. And so in here, we will say socket.emit. And what should this event be called? This is update location. And it will send an object of lat position.chords. Actually, let's use some fancy JavaScript. So we'll say lat should be assigned to other way around. Actually, let me confirm this now. I screwed this up the other day. So let me grab this. Store as global variable. So if you didn't know you could do this, it's super awesome. If you have printed out a object or something, you can right-click it and say store as a global variable, and then it assigns it to a variable. So you can actually like manipulate the shit out of it. It's awesome for debugging and like just replicating things. So let's do this. Let's say const lat. I'm pretty sure it's the variable name first. So latitude should be assigned to lat equals temp1 dot chords dot lat, just like that. Oh, that is the chords. So just temp1. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so so that's clear. This is called object destructuring, and you can normally do something like, say I want the key latitude pulled out of this variable and assigned here. So you can actually do multiple of these. So longitude. But you can actually rename them as well, which is the cool part. So to do that, you say the name of the variable coming from the object and then what you want to call it. So we can do this. Boom. Some fancy new JavaScript features. Object destructuring. So let's try that again. So this is going to be latitude. Should be assigned to lat. And then longitude should be assigned to long. It's going to be position.chords. And then we can just... what do we want to do? We can send an object here of just lat and long. And I think that'll work. So, good question. There's some of the resources I always tell people to go to for learning like JavaScript and things is like Code Academy. It's a free website. Khan Academy, also a free website. They have awesome JavaScript tracks, and you can really learn a lot from there. So definitely start with them. JavaScript is a easy yet complicated language to pick up. The basics are easy, and then some of the other stuff gets tricky, but it's definitely worth picking up because you can use it just about everywhere now. So let's see. Okay, so this will tick by and will emit update location, lat launch. Okay, and then on the server we need to listen for update location. So let's yank that. And so we'll say socket.on, paste that. So this will send us, and we can destructure this object here. Wrap it so it's clear. So we'll say lat, launch. And so this is actually pulling those keys out of that object. I forgot the equals after destructuring. Oh, good catch. You're a pro. Thank you very much. Seneca. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Very good catch. Okay, so perfect. And what do we want to do next? Well, I guess we should keep a map. So before I did it with an array, but someone opened an issue that said a map would be better. So let's start with a map, and then we'll go from there. So we'll say location map equals new map. And a map is a new... thanks for hanging out, Shahan. A map is a new JavaScript object data type that was brought over. It's like a hash map. It's what we would use like regular objects for. But it's an O of 1 lookup if something exists, so it's nice. And there's no duplication. So I think that we should say... Well, on connection, the first thing we should do is set the ID. So that we'll use the socket.id as a key. And then it should be initialized to lat null launch null. So then we can do location map dot set socket ID has the code defensively. So let's make sure it's in there. So if location map has socket.id, so if it's in there, we want to, let's see, So we'll set foo bar. Is there an update, or do we just set? Okay, perfect. So we can just reset it again. So we'll set socket ID to well, seeing as this is going to be used there, we don't even need to destructure that. So we'll just set socket ID to that position. Cool. And then we need to be able to remove it. So what's the event? Socket IO disconnect. Socket on disconnect. Perfect. And then the location map should... is it remove? Let's see. Map dot delete. Delete. So it should delete socket dot ID. Perfect. So let's say socket ID. So let's see if this works. So we'll log out the socket ID and then the position. And we refresh. It should just start spitting all that out to the server. Ooh, post is not defined. Oh, it's probably pose and I put a T there. Line 12. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that again. Refresh. Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. So we can obviously speed that up. That's good for now. Alright. Cool. So we have location being streamed to the server. So now let's just set up the map view of this. If you've just joined us, we're building a location tracking app. I hacked this out with someone on a bus the other day, and it was a quick little hack, and now I want to expand it into more of like a full-blown service. So we'll see how it comes out. It's basically, there's going to be 2 pages. It's a tracker and then a view that'll use Google Maps to plot the locations. So let's tracker, let's create a new HTML file. And we'll call this one view.html. Viewer, I guess that works. Save that. Spit out an HTML file. Very cool. And so we need, well, we'll need some of the same stuff, so let's just copy this. And the title should be map viewer. Which also means we need a public.js viewer.js. And I'm going to grab this thing. Okay. JP, thanks for hanging out with us. HackCon was great. Okay. So it was awesome meeting you at HackCon. That was a great time. So what are we doing here? Well, we need to create the socket as well. And we need Google Maps. So let's see, Google Maps JavaScript API. So if you're a software developer and you've just joined this, let me know in the chat what kind of work you like to do, what kind of code you like to write, front end, back end, Python, JavaScript. Let me know what your favorite thing is and where you are if you'd like. I'm coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York, and it is a beautiful summer day right now. Demos and sample code. Okay. So, guides. So we need this one. Beautiful day to sit inside and write some code. Exactly. Okay, so we got the Google Maps API, so I need an API key and then a callback, it says. Let's grab some of this. Let's just copy their whole bit here. Alright. Okay, so I have that already, I have that. Let's pull these up into the head. Don't need that one. Okay, so I've just grabbed this like boilerplate. This will give us a full screen map. And what are you mad about? Property attribute async. So it doesn't know what async or defer are. That's okay. So let's get an API key. This is really cool. Which I gotta give a shout out to Google for this. This is really cool. So this is in their documentation, and here's their sample code. And you're supposed to plug in your API key here, and you can actually open it and pick which project you want to use for this, and it will substitute your API key for you. And that's really clever. They did a good job on that one. So let's create a project. And what did we even name this one? Track all the things. That'll work for now. And we need Google Maps for Android, JavaScript. Enable. Alright, so let's see if this works. This is really cool. Alright, so pick your project. Oh, it has no credentials. Okay, so I gotta create credentials first. Perfect. There's our API key. Alright, but if I do this again, I should be able to insert it right there. And that's just so smart. That's so cool. Look, it's plugged it right in. That is awesome. Good work, Google. So I'm just going to paste it here for now. Alright, so we have our key plugged in. So this should initialize our Google Maps. And so we need to write this init map function. So I'm going to copy this. There's a VR developer. Oh, that's awesome. Unity's really cool. I've dabbled. I haven't done much. I made a pretty sweet rollerball game that I got from the Unity tutorial. But that is the extent of my Unity. Okay. So let's see. I got this cool thing. So this will create a new map and assign it there. Center it. Where should it center it? Maybe it should center it around your own location. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it center it around our own location. So I'm just cleaning this code up. So we're going to center it around our own location. And that should work. So let's see what happens. If we load up this page, we go to viewer.html. Ooh, server probably isn't started. Okay. Refresh this. Init map is not a function. Init map is a function, but it occurs afterwards. So let's move this below there. You worked on the HoloLens. Oh, that's awesome, Dominic. So I played the brand new Oculus Rift at HackCon, and it was awesome. I played some flying game, and I had totally written off VR stuff until I played that game, because it was incredible. Okay, so that's cool. So it's centered around me. Let me zoom out, refresh this. Perfect. All right. And so now we just have to do some we need to do some JP, thanks for the follow. We need to do some markers. That's what they're called. Markers. Markers. And so we should be able to add a marker. New Google Maps marker. Perfect. So I want to say socket. So let's set an interval. So set interval, and we'll set this for we'll do 2,000 seconds again. And so this will the client will query the server for some new stuff. So it will say we'll need two things. So we'll need one here for socket.on location update. And then we need to socket.emit request locations. And this will send us locations. I'm just trying to think this through. I don't know if we can send a map through Socket.io. I guess we're about to find out. So this should take locations. And how do we iterate over a map? I don't mean an actual map, I mean a JavaScript map. So map dot for each. That looks like it works. Cool. Are there any other ways to... I know we could do like a for of. That probably works too. Akshay, thanks for hanging out. Very cool having you. Okay, so we'll just do a for each for now. So we'll say this will give us a location. I wonder if this gives us the key name as well. It does. Perfect. So this should give us key value. Oh no, it gives us value then key. That's annoying, but okay. Cool. Location. ID. And then what do we do with that? Well, let markers equal a new map as well. I feel like we're gonna have to redo this, but we'll get it working for now and we'll see what happens. So locations for each. We are going to take the Google Maps marker. So we'll say new Google Maps marker. Can you link to this project on GitHub? I haven't uploaded it yet, but we can. Let's see. I'll upload it in 1 second. Let me get this working first. So we'll say marker equals new Google Maps marker. And this takes in a position. Which we can just give it lat long. Perfect. So let's give it a position. And let's change this to position. And then we need a map to set it on, so we'll give it our map. And let's set a title for now. So we'll set a title of ID. And then we can take our markers and we can set the ID to the marker. Which means that we also need to check if markers has the ID. And if it does, we need to grab the old marker, and then old marker dot, how do we set the map to nothing? Set map null. So if we set map to null, this will detach it from the map and it should get garbage collected, so we should be okay. So markers dot delete ID. Okay. I think that'll work. So, okay, so request locations is the event we have to have the server emit. And what are we emitting? We're emitting locations update. I wonder if we can just send the location map. That'd be awesome if we can. We're gonna find out. So if we hit that, locations for each is not a function. Okay, so it's probably because it's a map and you can't send a map. Let's try this again. Gives us an empty object. Shit. Socket.io send map. JavaScript map. I guess we can't. Okay, so how do we send this then? Well, do we have a nice... Is there like a map to string? Damn. That doesn't help us. Map. Could we do array from map? That might work. Let's see. Bingo, bongo. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure we can send an array, so let's do it that way. We'll have to manipulate this, but it'll work. I don't know any other way to serialize this. Okay, so we'll serialize this then, just as an array. That's gonna be annoying. We gotta think of a better way to do that. I don't like that. So this should at least give us the locations. Yeah. which means, okay, so we got a problem here. We're setting everything that connects to the server as a item, but we don't want to do that. So we need to do an event for that. So socket.on register tracker. So we'll move that into there. And then we can go to our tracker. And move this in here. Okay, so now that should only register from there. And that should... What if we try to delete something that's not there? Perfect. Doesn't crash or throw an error. So if you just joined us, let me know in the chat what kind of software development I'd like you to... If you've just joined us, let me know in the chat what kind of programming you like to do if you are a software developer. If you can't tell, I am a big fan of the JavaScripts. And we got a bunch of C#, JavaScript, Python, all the cool things in here. So, okay. So that should solve that problem. But now we need to handle doing this. This gave us key and then position. Okay. So we can change this to a locations for each. Should be an array. And we can destructure this array. As ID and position. And I think that'll work. Let's find out. Okay, cool. So we have no trackers yet. So let's open that up here. Let's say tracker. Ooh. So we get the array spit out, and there's an array. It's got a key, the key, and then the location. And we're getting an error, set position, not a lat longe or lat longe literal improperty. Lat, not a number. Okay, well it's not sending over the location, so those are still null. So why are they null? Well, let's make sure. So we're emitting... Oh crap. We need this here. So we need to register a tracker here. And then we don't emit register tracker here. We emit update location. Okay, that should fix that. Let's try that again. Oh, there's a marker. It worked. Oh, that's so cool. All right, Sam or Devin, one of you guys, Dominic, whoever's in here. All right, let's see if we can get locations on a map. I'm gonna open this up on ngrok. Okay. If y'all could go here, so I can track your whereabouts on the internet. I'll paste it into chat. And this has to be HTTPS. Alright. So, we should see this work. This will be really cool. Lat launch is not a number. Alright. We got someone else on here. Oh, okay, there's 3 on here. Alright, so this is Adrian. This is someone in the New York office. The New York Twilio office. This is me. Very cool. Oh, someone's hanging out from Washington. Oh, wow. Now let's find Berlin. Where we got Berlin? There's Dominic all the way over there. Oh, you're so far away, buddy. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, look at this. Oh, someone's coming to us from Finland. Helsinki. Oh, that's so cool. Helsinki, sorry. We got people all over the world. Oh, that's fun. JP's in Washington. Very cool. Alright. Alright, so I'm getting an error. Okay, so where is this error coming from? So I'm not getting someone's location. Okay, so whoever 7 is. Okay, so I need to not do that. I need to check if the location exists before we plot a map. So if position dot lat and position launch. And if I'm doing something you would do differently, please let me know. Okay, so let's check. So locations for each, set marker to null. So if position has a lat and launch, we're going to create a new marker. Otherwise, markers has ID. Okay, so will we ever have a problem where someone had a location and was set on here and now they don't have a location? No, I think that'll be okay. Alright, I'm going to refresh the map. Set map of null. Okay, where am I calling set map? Let's see. Set map. Let's move that into there. Maybe that'll fix it. That's really cool. This is a cool project so far. I'm happy with this one. Alright, I'm gonna get this code on GitHub so everyone can get it. So this should be deleting the marker and recreating it on every tick. So it should be updating in real time if anyone was moving. Quick, Sam, run across to the other side of New York and we'll see if the marker moves. Alright. I'm gonna upload this. Where did that 2 come from? I don't know what I did. Alright. Let's see. So let's get in it. Let's create a new repo real quick. And let's track all the, I'll call this Twitch for now. Twitch, track all the things. We need a node get ignore, MIT license. Okay, so here's the repo, and now I just have to upload stuff. So get remote add origin pull origin master. Okay. And so I have an API key in here, and that's shitty. I don't want to have to commit an API key. I'm gonna have to change it after the stream too. Maybe I'll just use like EJS to pull it in. How do I use this with Express? Well, I'll change it later. I don't want to waste time on it now. Okay. So let's commit this. And what are we going to say? We are going to say add the basic tracking server. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I just pushed that up. And yeah, this is so cool. This is a fun little project so far. We got some awesome people from all over the world watching now. Okay, so what's next? Brainbuster, thank you for the follow. Brainbuster, are you a developer? What kind of code do you like to write if you are? And if you want to show up on our map, you can go here. That should work. There should be 2 of me now, if this works correctly. Let's see, how far can I zoom into Brooklyn? Yeah, there's 2 of me. Alright, perfect. Oh, holy shit, there's a lot of me. Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? Okay, that is quite a few. So that means that there should be quite a few of everybody. Oh yeah. Okay, something's going wrong. So I'm not unsetting the map for some reason. You need to manually delete the markers, yeah, because the problem is because I'm deleting them from the server. So when you disconnect from the server, and then you let's put an event here. So let's emit a client tracker disconnected, and we'll send the socket.id. And in the viewer, we'll say socket.on client disconnected. Let's see. Tracker disconnected. Okay, tracker disconnected, and then it will have an ID. And what do we do with that ID? Well, we need to take our markers and then delete the ID. If markers.hasID marker equals markers.get ID, and then marker dot it's set map to null. Okay, I think that fixes it. Let's see. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, everyone's reconnecting. Okay. Okay, let's see. I heard we were making some NSA level tracker. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, Sam. We still gotta grab lunch one day this week. Okay, yeah. I'll have to cater to the NSA somehow. Gotta make them happy. I don't want them on our bad side. Okay, so I'm only getting one location. Oh, that's not good. That should have... Oh, okay, no, I have two trackers open. So one of these should disappear. Nope. Now there's three of them. So I refresh again. Now there's probably going to be four of them. So I did something wrong. Yeah. What did I do wrong? Disconnected. Okay, so I'm not deleting them. You do set map, but you need to delete the reference to remove them from the map. So set the map to null. So this should move them when they disconnect. Can I update? Okay, I think I know what's going on. I think you're good, Dominic. Let's see. Can I update the location? Does this have a set location? Let's see. Let me print these out. Print out the markers. Why is that map empty? Alright, so I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so let's see. Markers. Oh, okay, that's why this was outside before. Okay, let me just rewrite this whole part. Okay, so let's loop over the locations. So locations for each, and we'll get a location. So if the location has a lat and longe, we create a new marker. And then we I just want to see something. I want to see if I can update the location of a marker. And then this will be easier. So temp1 dot get position. Is there a set position? Boom! Alright. So let's set this to lat 0, longe 0. Does that work? Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. We have someone sitting on the equator at 0, 0. Very cool. Okay, so we can set the position. Okay. So okay, let's just start over. So we'll map over all the locations. And then we'll check if the markers has this location. So that's the first thing we'll do. So we'll say if markers has ID, So we'll grab the marker. And we'll say marker.set location to lat position.lat longe position dot longe. But this should actually check if it has those positions first, right? Because it's no point in doing that if not. So we'll check if the location actually has a position. And then if the marker let's destructure this. So we'll say this is lat and longe. Okay, so set the location. No, we didn't need to do that. What am I doing? We just have to set the location to the position. Okay. So if the position has a lat and longe, if the marker has the ID, update the location. Otherwise, what else do we need to do? So we need to create a new marker. So a marker will equal a new Google Maps object with position. Map and ID. Okay. Okay, I think that makes more sense. So if it has a position, do that. Otherwise, well, so what do we need to do if it doesn't have a position? Then we should probably remove it, right? So if it doesn't have a position, we can delete the old marker. So we'll say const marker equals markers.get ID. We're going to have duplicate code here. So let's say markers dot type error. Cannot set property of undefined. Line 35. I don't like this. There's a lot of reuse here. We'll have to refactor it later, but I don't want to get hung on it now. The map is still empty. Why is map still empty? Oh, because we're never adding it. Okay. So markers.set ID to marker. Cool. There we go. Set location is not a function. Oh, set position. Okay. All right. So I only see one. So refresh. There's two. I refresh. There's three. Shit. Thought we fixed it. Okay, so where is that supposed to happen? All right, well let me drop out these other logs. We don't need these now. Tracker disconnected. Socket on disconnect. Emit tracker disconnected. Socket ID. Okay. So that should disconnect. Tracker disconnected. It should log out disconnected. And it should delete it from the map. So let's see. Why is that not happening? Okay. So let's refresh. Okay, so I see the disconnect. So this got triggered, but the client never received that. Try this again. Okay. And now we should see 2 because something's still broken. We do. But we're getting the disconnects, but the client is not getting them. Oh. Okay. So we were emitting on the same socket that disconnected, and that's the problem. So we need to emit to the other thing. So we need to emit to everything, all our maps that are listening. So now this should be okay. Okay, so there's one. I refresh. Still no. Still 2. Maybe it's io.broadcast.emit. Let's see. Let's double check this. Alright. Emit an event to all clients. Server.emit. The following 2 are equivalent. So that should work. I wonder why this one's not working. Oh, there's a disconnected. Okay. Zoom in. Okay. Alright, we fixed that. Cool. That was an annoying bug to solve. Alright, let's see. So there's another problem, because I see that a lot of you still have the app open, but when we're not getting the new information. So I did safeguard checking on the server. So I think that's probably why it's screwing up. If it does not have, let's add it to the map. Actually, we don't even need that. We'll just set it. So now everyone should reconnect and I should see everyone. Shiden, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll write some Java one day if you want to come back. Dominic, can you refresh the tracker page? Okay, there you are. There's everyone. Bye, Jade. Have a good weekend. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh the map, and we should get everyone back on it. Dominic, do you have the tracker open? Or someone other than me, do you have it open? Looks like there's 2 in New York. 1 in the Twilio office. Okay, so that's there. Devin has it open. Okay, so there it is in Germany. Oh no, Netherlands. Ooh, very cool. Rotterdam, there you are. Dominic, can you refresh? Adrian, refresh too. Everyone who has it open, give it a 1 refresh. So I'm not seeing anyone in Germany. Something's still weird. So there's 3 in New York. So that's Adrian, myself, and Devin or Sam. Alright, looks like both of them maybe. So that looks okay. Still no Berlin. That's so strange. I don't know what's happening. Why is that mad? Okay, I saw Berlin there before I refreshed. But it looks like our reconnection logic isn't working well. So why would that be? Well, let's see. Okay, so when you reconnect, it should still be emitting this one right here. So it still should be emitting update location. So we need this because we're not storing the... Dominic, thanks for hanging out, buddy. So I show up there, okay. So if I kill the server, this should be crashing. It should be pissed off that it can't send anything. So if I start it back up, so I think one of the big problems is we're keeping state on the client as well as on the server. So I think that's an issue. Let's see. So if I kill this and close this tracker and open this back up, this should reconnect. But it's not going to remove me because it missed an event. So I think what I should do is pull out all of the state tracking on the client side. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete all this. Okay. So let's see. So on location update, I want to run through all of the markers. And then I want to set the map to null. And then I want to delete the ID. So set the map to null, so remove it from the map, and then delete it from the list. So on every tick, it's going to recreate the marker. And I think that's a better way to handle it, because now we're not handling state on the server. I mean the client. Now the client just shows whatever the server sends it. Probably should have done it this way from the beginning. So set position. ID, this should be marker. Okay. set position. Okay, so on the server, we shouldn't even need to do this. Oh, no, we do. We need to do this because otherwise, if we just take all the sockets, then we'll have the viewers and the maps on the page, and we don't want to do that. So we do need to check if location exists or not. We also don't need this anymore. Oh, that's so much better. I don't even know why I did it the other way. That didn't make any sense. Okay. This is so much better. So, on locations update, it's going to run through and delete all the markers. And then it will go through the locations. I guess I was trying to reuse the marker to be more efficient. But this is a better way to do it. It's less efficient, but it's so much easier to reason. So we run through. Thanks for hanging out, JP. Definitely we'll have everything up there, so look for it. Okay, so the marker, we create a new marker here. And then we set it. But it shouldn't set it if the position is null. So if not position dot lat and position dot launch. Okay, and is that the right if logic? So if if they exist. So if position lat and position launch, create a new marker. Perfect. That makes more sense. All right. So refreshing this should put someone on the page. And there's that flicker. So that's the flicker is it being deleted and then re-added. But if you're tracking someone moving, I guess that's okay. I don't know. What do you all think? We got a flicker if we do it this way, but that code, we just eliminated so much code. I wonder if we can still keep it that way, but reuse the ones that do exist. So what if we do like a mark and sweep, right? So if we run through so let's say const markers to delete equals new set. And then, let's see. So let's see. We'll run through the locations. And then we can say if markers has ID, yeah, we're writing some JavaScript. A little Socket.io. Thanks for joining us, Merflix. Hope I said that right. I can't say any names. Right, so if we run through all the markers, so if the marker has the ID, so we got all these markers. So if y'all in the chat wouldn't mind, if you want to show up on this map right here, if you go to this link, yeah, we're writing some note. I already answered that. If you want to open this link up, it should map out where everyone is. So we got someone coming to us from Rotterdam. Very cool. So that's still in there. Very cool. Someone coming to us from Malmo. That's awesome. Very cool. I hope I said that right as well. Like I said, I can't pronounce anything. Oh, and you just disappeared. Okay, but if I refresh this, it should come back. And there's someone else from New York. Okay. So if I kill the server now, and then start it back up, and then I get everyone back. Perfect. Okay, so now we have reconnection logic. That's awesome. Okay, let me push that code up. What do we do different? Markers. Yeah, we got rid of all that junk. Yeah, we cut a lot out. Perfect. Okay, so improve reconnection logic. And so if you are hanging out and you want this code, it lives here. I'm glad you think this is cool. Merplix. So there's the code. Okay, so we got all the cool people on the map. Alright, I don't want to have to zoom out anymore. I'm going to change the initial zoom. Zoom 0, make it zoomed out. What about like zoom 2? Yeah, that works. Cool. That flicker is annoying though. I'd like to get rid of it, but I don't want to waste too much more time on it. How does this work? Yeah, so we can run through that. So the page that I sent you to, the tracker page, let's pull up the code for that. So this is the HTML. It's really straightforward. It just includes 2 JavaScript files. One is a socket.io library, which is a library that does WebSockets. It's a WebSocket abstraction. So what a WebSocket is a HTTP connection. So normally when you have HTTP, your browser can make a request, and it can, the request always gets a response, and that's usually it. But a WebSocket will stay open. So it's more than just, hey, can I have this web page? It's like, hey, I'm sitting here listening, waiting to have a conversation with you. So we're using WebSockets to send our location to the server. So this is the tracker code, and it's very short. It fits all in here. It's 20 lines. And so on an interval, every 2,000 milliseconds, so 2 seconds, we run this tick in here, where we grab your geolocation, we get the coordinates for Latin launch, and then we send that over to the server. And then on the server, we have a map that is keeping track of all of those locations. So it's just updating them here. And actually, we don't even need to register this. We can pull that out. We can just do the... We'll just update the location, have it work that way. That works fine. So let's restart that. Let me go back to explaining. So it just sets the location in this map of your socket ID and your position. And then from the client side, there's an event that gets triggered every 2 seconds to request locations. And then we send over this locations map and array. So you use Google to get the location name from Latin launch. It's the browser is getting the Latin launch, and then we're using Google Maps to plot markers. So on the locations update, so where is it? Here we go, request location. So every 2,000 seconds we request location. And then we get the location back, so we just create new Google Map markers. Where is that? Right here. And then we just loop over the locations we get from the server and then plot the markers on the map. And that's it. It's really straightforward. Very cool. So we'll just deal with that flicker now, that 2-second flicker of the markers being deleted and put back. What's the practical purpose of this? So this originally started as a project. I was at a conference and we had to keep track of where buses were. So myself and this other hacker named Max threw this together real quick. And we basically it's very similar. It's tracking, being able to track buses. So as you're moving in a bus in real time, you can see where the bus is on the map. So I rewrote it now, and the idea is to have eventually a service that you can spin off. So think about Apple has like Find My Friends, and Facebook has something similar. But all of those require like people to be signed up and have an account. So the idea behind this is it's going to be a service that you can go to and be like, hey, I want to track some cool people, and it'll generate you 2 links that are unique. So you'll be able to give the tracker link to everyone you need to track, and the viewer link will have everyone who is being tracked by that link. And that's the end goal. Right now we just have it working with one group. And it looks like we had some problems with the reconnection logic where we were getting like 1 million markers. And that was because we were keeping state on the client side, so now we're just blowing everything away and drawing whatever the server sends us. So the server is maintaining all state. And that's why we see that flicker, but it's okay for now. Alright, so let me close out some of these. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Don't need that, don't need that. Don't need any of these. Okay. Can you track my house? If you... Actually, where did the map go? We lost the map. Oh, there's the map. I mean, how exact is the coordinates? So the coordinates should be really exact. Should be pretty close. And granted, the idea is so you're moving, it knows where you are. But in our tracker code, we are enabling high accuracy. So this is asking it to be as accurate as possible. Thanks for the follow, Murpelix. But yeah, so we're asking it to enable high accuracy. This is probably dependent on the browser, right? Dependent on how the browser can report it. This should work from mobile and should be very accurate on mobile, because the mobile should get a real accurate location. And then this option is just saying we don't want to cache any locations. We want them fresh every time. Why am I not on here? Okay, there I am. So if we give you an idea, this is me, and if I zoom in all the way, you can see exactly, this is like super accurate. This is exactly where I am, right over here. So it is very accurate. But it didn't reconnect very well. Unless there's no one else in the queue. Let's see. Let's log out location map.size. Is it size? I don't even know. Okay, it is size. Okay. So if I go back to tracker, cool. Three. Very cool. Two. All right. But right now the client is requesting the data. I feel like the server should just send it on an interval. So we do like... Nah, I mean, that's okay for now. That'll do. Okay. When is the next stream? So this, unfortunately, is the last one I'm doing until July 28th. I'm going on vacation for the next couple weeks. I usually stream every other week. But there are other folks at Twilio who stream. Oh, Devin just posted it in there. Yeah, so we have some other folks who stream very similar content, building cool stuff. So you should check them all out. And the schedule should be up on there. Alright, I like this. So I think this is good. I think our reconnection logic is good. Very cool. Alright, so what's the next step then? Well, we have this working for one instance. I'd like for these markers to have names. I thought I had the names turned on, but it doesn't look like it. Let's see. Google Maps JavaScript API. Markers. Okay, how do I do markers? Position. Map. This says title, but I don't see title. My title's not showing up. A marker label that appears inside a marker. Oh, okay, I see. Complex icons. What is title? It talks about a title. That's weird. Maybe they got rid of what the titles do. Yeah, they must have. Maybe it's deprecated. We might make my own map instead of Google's. Probably not. That is definitely a crazy complex thing that I am probably not qualified for. That stinks. There's OpenStreetMaps. There's a bunch of other mapping like libraries out there, but I would not want to have to create this from scratch. Alright, well I guess we can't get a label on it. The label's only one character, it says. There's a string or a marker label object that includes a string and other label properties. Can I like click it for more? No. So if I change title to label, excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, we just get the slash. Oh well. Alright, so I'm just gonna pull that out then. I don't even know why it's in their docs if it's not used. Why is port 3000 almost used? Port 3000 is really very common for just web servers. It's just a port that is not owned by anything. It's just like a development port. Same goes for like 5000, 8000, 8080. It's just a known port for development. Like, I don't think anything will be assigned to it. I think it was really popular because Rails, Ruby on Rails runs on port 3000, so that's probably where a lot of other libraries got it from. Okay, well, let's see. What else can we do in the next maybe like 30, 40 minutes? Well, I'd like to get this working with instances. But that's definitely a more complex thing. But if we look at Socket.io's docs, it's actually very straightforward how we handle it. They have a concept of rooms and namespaces. The Socket.io allows you to namespace your sockets, which essentially mean assigning different endpoints or paths. So we can namespace these out to like whatever session ID you have for your group of friends that you're all tracking. And why don't I use WS instead of Socket.io? Socket.io gives you so much out of the box. WS is probably faster, but you have to do a lot. And I don't know if WS handles reconnection logic. Let's see. Socket.io is really just like an awesome, and Socket.io actually downgrades itself. If WebSockets aren't supported, it'll use like long polling, and I think it even goes like Flash all the way if it doesn't work. So it's a really good library. Yeah, I like that. I like that Socket.io you can like do different events. It definitely like makes this kind of stuff cleaner. But WS is a great library. Socket.io might even use WS under the hood. Who knows? But I definitely like the everything it gives you as opposed to having to write it myself. I like having the named events. Okay. So namespaces. So the default namespace. So that's what everyone's dropped in. Each namespace emits a connection event that receives each socket instance as a parameter. Custom namespaces. I/O of namespace. Ooh. That's cool. So we can individually namespace all these sessions out. That's really awesome. So the rooms, within each namespace you can also define arbitrary rooms and join and leave them. Join to subscribe the socket to a given channel and emit 2 individual rooms. Socket and Socket.io is identified by a random, unguessable ID. Cool. From the outside world. Do you send data as strings or array buffer? Socket.io does everything. It can do strings, arrays, even binary data as array buffers. I am sending it as an array. I'm using a map and I'm just turning the map into an array because it wouldn't work with the map, obviously. Well, and not obviously. We hoped it would. It didn't. So, alright, let me push up that fix. Socket on. What did I do? Removed. Cleaned up connection logic. Perfect. I think that socket.io binary is over an array buffer. Yeah, it sends it as an array buffer. So socket.io now supports emitting blob, array buffer, and even file. Ooh. The difference between them? I don't know. Array buffer is just a different way to compress and like hold the data. Canvas to buffer. You can just send your canvas over it. That's cool. They've done a lot of sweet stuff on here. So setting data on sockets, socket.io. It's okay to add properties to the socket.io socket object. You should be careful not to use names that could conflict. Very cool. Weak maps. I don't even know what weak maps are. Ooh. TLDR at the top. Weak map is a object of which are weakly referenced. The keys. That's neat. Okay. So does anyone have any ideas on where to go from here? I don't think I have enough time to turn it into the full-blown thing that we wanted to. But it's cool what it is now. We got the reconnection logic and the remapping logic down. You know, the server starts back up, everything should clean up and get over, and you lose connection, it should still work. Let's see. Definitely a lot more to do. We need to be able to have actual sessions. We need a permanent data store to keep track of everything. What is... I saw it said socket.io Redis. What does socket.io Redis do for you? Maybe you could just use Redis for everything. Oh, okay. This is how you can scale socket.io. We don't need that right now. Let me get out of that tick out of there. So, I think I'm going to sign off. Unless anyone has any questions or wants to chat about anything, anyone have any questions about what we did or comments, or about anything else in general, I'm very happy to talk about that. Otherwise, I'm going to probably, I don't want to start too much new right now. The next stream, like I said, should be towards the end of July, unfortunately. That's when I get back from traveling. Vim. I can always talk about Vim. So let's pull up my VimRC. So there's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of plugins. Some I use, some I don't. A lot of comments. You have any specific questions, Sam, about my Vim setup or whatnot? There's a lot in here. Ugh. A lot of this I wrote a long time ago, and it's done me very well. Actually, I think I took this bit out of your VimRC, Sam, or the bootstrapping of Vundle. Hey, how we doing? I'm just about to sign off, but I'll run through what we built today if you'd like, or if you have any ideas or questions. So this is the repo. It is a tracker that we built, and the idea is definitely to spin it out more, but it uses geolocation and WebSockets to generate a trackable URL. Let's see. Grab this. So if we hit /tracker HTML, so if you open that up in your browser, you should pop up on our map right here. It's really cool so far. I'm really happy with this one. So this was the tracker. So it's really straightforward, not much code at all. I guess we'll start with the client side. So this is the tracker link. This is the one I just sent you to. All this one does is it has a set interval for every 2 seconds. It will get your geolocation and send it over to the server through a WebSocket. And that's it. We're requesting high accuracy, so it should be pretty accurate. And then the server receives those, just a standard Express app at Socket.io. And it will get the update location, and then it'll stick it in a hash map with your ID and your position. And then that's all the client does. So the other client, which is the map, is constantly pulling in all the locations from the server and then plotting them to a map. So it has an interval where it requests locations every 2 seconds. And then the server will be like, okay, here's the location that I'm sending you. And then it will send you over all the locations, and it'll run through and check if the map markers exist. And if not, it'll plot them and update them on Google Maps. And that's it. It's really simple. Very minimal amount of code. This is setting up Google Maps. And I dropped the repo so you can pull it up and look at it later if you'd like. But otherwise, I think that's it. If no one has any other questions or suggestions, I'm going to pop off. For those of you with a long weekend coming up, please enjoy the heck out of it. I will be traveling for the next couple weeks. So like I said, I won't be back until like the 3rd week of July, like the 28th. So I'll see you all then. Thanks so much for hanging out. Click the little follow button to learn more, and my name, Eddie Zane, is everywhere on the internet for GitHub's Twitter, so thanks for